parental conflict that screws up kids. And but parents who divorce in a amicable manner and relate to each other as co-parents in an amicable way, their children fare much better than people who stay married and have an antagonistic, angry, combative relationship with each other. I think there were a lot of people in the comments talking about their own experience of being in a divorced family and parents who divorced, and sort of going through that together and saying that their own experience of either having unhappily married, conflict-filled parents who stayed together, thinking they were helping the kids, but actually created an environment of toxicity and hostility and trauma, or parents who amicably divorced and had, lives that were living happily separately from each other and raising their children without having their children entrenched in the conflicts. Really my point in the clip and in the interview, which is worth checking out, was really talking about something I talked about in my books and I've talked about in other interviews, and that is that we have a tendency to say, well, divorce screws up kids. And the long-term behavioral mental health research actually shows that parental conflict to and in the presence of children and creating loyalty binds between children and parents is really what screws up your kids. And that, of course, parental conflict and parental divorce tend to correlate with each other. But as we all know, correlation and causation are two different things. So just simply the act of two parents divorcing is not what, quote unquote, screws up kids. I'm not surprised that the clip resonated with people, because I think there are a lot of people out there that are worried about their children as their top priority, rightfully so, when they're considering whether they should separate or divorce. And even if they're in a really unhappy, conflict-laden marriage, they find themselves saying, hey, if we divorce, this is really going to screw up our kids. And what they probably need to look at is, okay, but how much damage is the parental conflict that's happening in this unhappy marriage doing to the children inadvertently? And how hard is it for the children to be to or in the presence of this kind of conflict between mom and dad?